welcome to a particularly poignant edition of Hollywood Uncensored. I'm Sam Rubin. Our steadfast principles remain the same. No scripts, no pre-interviews, just the hottest and most honest talk about show business from four folks who know it inside out. A great panel with a tremendous sexual tension. Who's funnier than Lonnie Love? Great to have Lonnie here. My co-star in the fabulous Pauly Shore is Dead, Pauly Shore, the pride of both Buffalo and VH1, Carrie Keegan, and the insanely gorgeous Angelica Bridges. Wow. Now, who among us has not been to the Playboy Mansion? In fact, every single time I've been there, I always, I'm not calling you out, I always see Pauly with at least 2 or 3 friends.
Yeah, it's you ever see the, you guys seen the movie, hi, nice to see you. You've seen the movie Willy Wonka, correct?
Sure, right.
Yeah.
So every time I feel like I go there, I feel like a kid, like I'm allowed to, like it's Willy Wonka, and you know what I mean?
And
so
you're Veruca's,
you're
Veruca's
like
soul.
the everlasting like gobstoppers. So it's like, you know, you walk in and you're like, oh my God, so like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's
Some
nice.
of it will turn you blue.
Yes, definitely.
He's actually blown up like the giant grape. Anyway, the man with the keys to the kingdom besides Pauly, Hugh Hefner, recently jilted by former fiancée Crystal Harris, but the two promised to remain close friends. Now Crystal kissing and telling with Howard Stern and saying when it comes to romance, Hef was not necessarily the best lover.
Was it freaky when Hef took off his clothes and then you're like looking at that?
He doesn't really take off his clothes.
I was going to say, does he even do that?
I've never seen Hef naked.
You only had intercourse once?
Yeah.
No kidding. Don't you think, in a way, were you like, gee, aren't I sexy enough for this guy that he doesn't want to bang me? Or you were just like, thank God.
Yeah.
Did you have an orgasm when Hef you?
No.
You did not. How long did this horror situation last? The actual sex?
Like 2 seconds.
2 seconds and Hef him?
No, then I just goes over.
You
like,
what?
I was over it.
She was over at Lonnie Love.
God,
she cashed the checks.
Are you allowed to curse on this show?
You are.
That bitch.
Yeah, you know what?
Like the whole reason why that bitch is where she's at is because of him.
Exactly.
He's a god. Hugh
who
Hefner's the legend to the world, and this bitch, it was nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, you know, it's one thing. It's like, sorry, you know, that's just not cool. You know what I mean?
No,
it's
but
like,
tell it,
and
Paul.
you say
Testify,
it too.
Paul.
No, but how scary that this woman was going to marry him, and you've had sex with him one time. Who marries
But
someone
it's not
who
even,
only has
just look
sex
at her
with them one
stupid,
time?
smirky face.
Well, no, you know what?
but
She
it's
said
not
he
cool,
lasted
man.
2
It's not
seconds.
cool.
Right.
I'm surprised because I thought it would only be 1 second at his age. So I'm
It's
proud of
Viagra.
him.
The Viagra
lasted
makes it 2 minutes.
It
2
only
seconds.
lasted 2 seconds because that's how long her attention span is.
Oh.
And if it lasted any longer, it wouldn't have been
And
consensual.
the thing is, like,
That's
I met her
right, girl.
before, and she's a cool chick. She's a nice girl. She's from San Diego. She's a sweetheart, but it's like, you know, this is not cool. You know what I mean? You don't. And instead of being like, yo, it didn't work out. I'm sorry. I love Hef. And
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Supposed to where you eat,
Back in
Sam.
1913, he would have been the okay? But yeah, it's 2011. Come on, he 80. What do you expect? It's just
Viagra.
Let's talk about that for a second. Because he always, age appropriate for him is what, a mere 65 years younger.
yes.
I mean, that.
It's just the thing is every person, every girl that he has gone out with, from Holly to Bridget, all of them down the line, there's this huge love that they have for him and respect,
And respect.
that they have for him, the twins, because they know that the whole reason why they're at where they're even at is because of him, and they had a great times together, and there's this heartfelt, and this isn't cool, man.
He
That's
should
not
have married
nice.
Holly in the first place. That's what his ass
Totally.
get. Because Holly
Girl.
loved him. He should have did.
But you know what? I've spent time with Holly, and you could tell more than any of these, she really wanted to marry him.
genuine.
Right.
Absolutely genuine.
And I think she was kind of heartbroken when he got engaged to her.
Of course, and she tried to warn him. Did she not try to warn him? And
Yes.
he didn't listen. And then look what happened. And now he's like, Holly, I wish I would have listened to you.
Yep.
Do you think he'll ever get married?
Hef again?
Yeah.
No. Why? He doesn't need to.
But the good part is there's a midsummer's party.
Right.
I know you're going. You'll be there.
Coming up,
You're
yes,
coming
I'll
up.
be
It'll be
there.
there like it's on August 6th or something. But he's gonna be free, so he's gonna have some. He's gonna have girls. He's gonna have no, but he's gonna have girls. He's gonna have girls everywhere, and that's the way it should be.
He needs to get with Betty White. That's what he needs to get with Betty White, because she'll watch the old movies with him.
She'll play the backgammon with him.
Exactly.
And all that.
But so he should have a good time. It's really about the moment. You know, get rid of that whole thing, bad energy. He'll have a good time this next week.
All right, here's my braggy moment. I get a drive on. Polly, where do you get a park? Do you shuttle or do you drive?
San Vicente and Wilshire.
Last Saturday night, I was there, drive on.
All right.
They leave my car out front, so I don't even have to wait for the valet to pull around.
It's for me, it's almost like a Rochambeau with him. He's like, Polly's gonna get a drive on or not. Like sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't. Either way, it's cool.
I tell you what, for me, and I think I've gone 3 or 4 times. You know, in this idea, what's it really like? It's everything you imagine it would be.
More. But it has a smell to it.
No, that's the chlorine from the pool that they extra put in there to disinfect everything.
No,
the grotto.
The grotto has a smell all its own.
No, it's nice.
It's an interesting odor.
It
starts out smelling a lot like chlorine, maybe a little Lysol or something. Then by the end of the night, it's got an odor.
Are you going to be there? This is she going to be there? You're going to be there?
Yes.
So then I'll take you to the grotto.
No.
Lonnie, are you ready to put on your negligee and go?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the bus though, okay?
Good girl.
There's a shuttle bus. Just ahead, more breakups to talk about. The tattooed pair, Kat Von D and Jesse James, are on the outs. Can any high-profile pair make it work? And Paulie himself has been on Entourage. Do any stars really roll like Vincent Chase? We're just getting rolling here on Hollywood Uncensored. Welcome back. Our website is reels.com/Hollywood Uncensored. Lonnie Love is online too. Her site, Lonnie, LONILove.com. I was just on the set of the Disney XD show, Kicking It. Who's one of the karate instructors? Lonnie, of course. And maybe a high-profile pair needs instruction on how to keep their relationship together. Jesse James became public enemy #1 when it was revealed that while being married to America's sweetheart, Sandra Bullock, he carried on with half of North America. Jesse himself says he was the most hated man in America, but tattoo artist and reality star Kat Von D didn't hate him. They became engaged, saying they were one another's best friends. Now that engagement is off. Pauly Shore, is it impossible for 2 high-profile people to keep it together, or is it just too many tattoos?
I think that he just similar. I guess it's similar to Sandra Bullock, where he just likes to, and I think that that plus her name's Cat, so like that, you know what I mean? It's like so I think a combination of him wanting to and then her going meow, I think it was like a rap. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, in your Polly vision world, it sure does.
But they're super high profile. If you didn't watch cable, you don't know who these 2 are. You're like, who are they? Kat Von D and Jesse James. I knew Jesse James of the 1918s.
Yeah. He was the guy that rolled in, right?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
But isn't that funny? If when Carrie and I go to Sephora, Kat Von D has
just dropping names.
Which I won't even touch that makeup because it grosses me out.
What's Sephora?
I think Sephora is a makeup place where all of us girls spend all of our money that we make every cent.
Let's go.
But there's a Kat Von. She has her own makeup. Which seems crazy to me.
It is
well,
crazy
she's on the
because
Ink Show,
she has her
right?
own
She was on the Ink Show.
But
so
who would be crazy enough to date this guy after he goes and does that to Sandra Bullock, and it's all in the press and the paper? How can you actually think that you're going to get a man who is going to be normal, who's going to love you, who is not going to cheat, who's going to do all those things that it just, they don't change their sights overnight.
Maybe he was good at No, you don't think he was good at it?
It doesn't surprise me that they're broken up.
She wasn't looking for a nice guy.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. A lot of girls, a lot of girls, they want to go out with guys that like to, you know what I mean?
That aren't nice guys.
Do you have a sound effect for that one?
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to toss it to her. Let the queen speak. Speak up, queen.
Okay. With a name like Jesse James, you know he's going to shoot all over the place. That's it. All right.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh my God. So funny. God, you are funny.
Maybe we should hook up Jesse James with the girl that was with Hugh Hefner giggling on the couch.
Crystal Harris.
Yeah. Maybe they need to be.
No, because Crystal Harris already has a boyfriend. That's why she left Hef.
Oh.
See,
Sorry,
Angelica
guys.
knows the scoop.
Sorry.
The 411
Yeah.
We were all surprised when Sandra Bullock ended up marrying him to begin with.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody was like, what is
Right.
the sweetheart doing with the bad boy? And now we're going to be surprised that he's dumped by another girl. I mean, like...
Of course not.
But isn't this because you
trash.
ladies always think you can
Right.
reform the bad boy?
Yes. They're way
No, not
sexier.
necessarily, but I guess it's a lot of fun trying.
Yeah, it always ends up badly. It always does.
It does, and you know what? He's such a scumbag for going on air and going and doing, promoting his book and saying, "Oh, this is the first time I've ever been in love," and kind of throwing that in Sandra Bullock's face. So it's kind
She'll
of
be
almost
dating him
karma.
next week.
Oh no! Oh no!
Such a scumbag. You'll be like,
he
oh yeah,
is.
really, a
I'm
real
sorry,
scumbag,
but
huh?
no,
Yeah,
no,
real
no.
scumbag.
He's a scumbag with a heart of gold.
I will not touch that.
As we continue here, so many critics and analysts are down on the new season of Entourage. What's up with that? And this week, Amy Winehouse was laid to rest. There's always something unique about her talent and her passing. We'll talk about that too when we jump back right here. Guests of Hollywood Uncensored receive an assortment of skincare products from Caudalie, the French beauty secret that combines the finest science and the finest ingredients. There's a reason that Caudalie is the #1 skincare company in France. Discover it today at caudalie-usa.com. We're back. So, too, is Pauly Shore. The new Showtime special is called Vegas is My Oyster. Pauly keeps company with the especially sane Andy Dick and Brie Olson, one of Charlie Sheen's now estranged goddesses. Catch the show on August the 5th. And you know what? We've made jokes here galore about Charlie Sheen and Andy Dick. And it's all funny. And then with somebody like Amy Winehouse, it just gets sad. I don't think anyone was shocked at her death last week. She was buried, of course, earlier this week. And there's been so much discussion about this, quote, Club 27. Amy was 27 years young when she died. So, too, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, and many, many others. Carrie, is there something about that particular age? I think there is.
Yeah, I do think there is something about that. I think you've passed that point where you're not a kid anymore, for sure. You've been allowed to do anything, and if you're in show business, that's the point in your life where you've been given everything. And it's been handed to you for free, and you've been taken backstage, and you've been, you sort of have, you're young enough to enjoy that high life, but then you end up enjoying it maybe too much.
I think the whole age 27 is getting a bad rap. I like 27. I like it in 227.
Yeah, and also the Jim Carrey movie.
Exactly.
54, what was it?
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
42.
42,
27,
yeah. But if you add
42,
it,
it's
yeah,
all happening.
Yeah, so I think it's
Where's
getting a
Jack
bad
Kay
rap.
when you need her? Is the thing.
23.
But you know what? When all the big movies, Pauly, were happening for you, you were actually even younger than that, I think.
I started on MTV when I was 19, 20, 21, 22, around there, and then I did Encino Man, like 23, 24, so it was around that time, yeah.
So was that a craziest time for you?
For me, it was a...
Was that the first rehab?
It was the
Was that the
best.
first
Yeah.
rehab?
It was the best. Oh my God! Talk about like Willy Wonka. That's a whole other show. But yeah, no, it's like she said. You get basically everyone coming up to you and giving you stuff, for pretty much for free.
Including their panties.
Yeah, a lot of panties.
Because I think, Gary, to me, the idea is exactly what you said, that you've had to have been in the business long enough to last that long, and if you have, you're at a level of success, and Paul, you experienced this, where all for good and ill comes your way.
I can't wait till I'm 27.
No,
I've been 27 a couple of times,
Right.
so, and I've loved it all the time. So.
And do you think it's ever a cautionary tale? Do you think anybody witnessed, what happened with Amy Winehouse and goes, you know what, I better calm down?
You would hope so, but I don't think it's going to happen because this happens every year. There's some
Every
person-
generation.
yes.
I mean, what she says is that you get to a point where everybody loves you. You can do no wrong. People are giving you stuff. I'm just on the road. I mean, Pauly knows. We go on the road. People just hand stuff to you after the show. Just like here.
And they think they're doing you a favor, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And an addiction is addiction. It's the hardest thing you could ever fight. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just impossible. You're up against.
Russell Brand wrote the most extraordinary blog, and
Yes.
it was so well written, and he said such great things. And he talked about how we all have a tendency to, in a way, romanticize this bad behavior, and that that's the mistake.
I also think that It's cute at, you know, when you're in your teens, in high school, like we all went to, you know, you have beer bongs and parties and smoke pot and da-da-da, and all that stuff in your teens, and you grow up 18, 19, 20, college for sure. You want to get wasted in college. But then after that, then it turns out to be not so nice.
Yeah, when a 27-year-old has a 6-foot bong still in their apartment, it's just embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
Wayne's World.
When we jump back here, Crystal Ball, Hollywood's most oddly accurate predictions are just ahead. Plus, the stars of Entourage are into season 8. Is the show realistic about the movie biz or not? You won't want to miss this as we return. We have returned. When will Carrie Keegan return to Big Morning Buzz Live on VH1? The answer is October, after the show comes out of its little summer vacation. Keep an eye out for that. You can follow her on Twitter at Carrie Keegan. Speaking of shows coming back from hiatus, Entourage just premiered on HBO for its 8th and final season. And it seemed like this convergence of negative reviews from critics and bloggers alike, saying that the characters haven't grown. Some of the characters still have not broken into Hollywood, and nearly all of the women in the show just window dressing. Are there really stars that roll like Vincent Chase? Angelica, is Entourage an accurate depiction of Hollywood?
Absolutely, except I think they hold back.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If they really, no, not that I would know. Well, okay, that I haven't seen and experienced.
Do you still have that Porsche?
I have, yes, I do.
Wow.
You were going to say you have many.
I have a different one.
Driving around in a Porsche.
Oh, stop
Forget about it. She's the type of girl that you'll see and be like, oh my God, chick, she's so hot, da, da, da. And she's just like, and she just keeps driving.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I did not. I pulled over when I saw you in Nichols Canyon that one day. Don't even say that.
Me, but if it's someone else.
There's a lot of history going on here. But this idea, you know what, I tell you what, the three of the ladies here, I mean, the women on the show
are hot,
but they're just kind of, they're just notches, aren't they?
The show is not about them.
Yeah,
it'll be another show.
Way,
It'll be called something else.
And,
yeah, and
they're
they really
saying
hold
that
back.
The characters don't change, but I mean, Bart Simpson never grew up. I mean, Stewie Griffin doesn't grow up.
Good point. Lonnie, they're cartoons.
Good point,
And
Lonnie.
honestly,
Well, it's a cartoon then. Their writers are like into the cartoon world where they're not growing up, they're staying the same.
I think critics need to just stop sometimes. You know what? People watch Entourage because it's a fun show to watch, because it's entertaining, not because we were looking for that character arc
we
that's
want to make sure it's true to real life.
It's the nature of the business. When you're on top, people want to, you know, and instead of saying awesome, they had a great 8 seasons, congratulations, they got Emmys and they got this. They don't look at that. They look at the like, oh, it's not this. It's a good show.
Do you think there could be an Entourage movie? There's some discussion that they'll cap the whole thing with, just like Sex and the City, a big movie.
I don't know that there's a whole lot left to make a movie about. It's just going to be one long episode, and I actually hate when they do that, when they make a film and it just feels like one long episode. That's kind of what X-Files felt like
Right,
to me.
yeah, you're exactly right.
And I guess as a fan, I still want to see it, but I don't know, if you're going to make a movie, it better be big.
And why are they leaving? I mean, besides the critics, why are they only doing 8 seasons?
Well, you know, I think some people
when you have a successful show like this.
But you know what? Entertainment Weekly did a whole thing, and I thought this was interesting, about the idea of shows that maybe overstayed their welcome. And they talked about Entourage, they talked about One Tree Hill, and shows that have been on for a long time. And you know, a lot of this, and Paulie knows this, is the big shot.
Who watches One Tree Hill? I don't know anyone. I thought that show went off the air like 5 years ago. I had no idea that the show was still on just until we were doing the Big Morning Buzz, and they were like, oh, we should get so-and-so on from One Tree Hill. I'm like, really?
I know.
I had no idea, but I mean, apparently they have a huge fan base, so somebody's watching. A lot of people are watching,
they need
and
to
they
bring back 227. That's what they need to do.
All right, okay, we want Jack Kay. Who else do you want?
Me.
Right.
Anybody.
Right.
Can I be on 227?
Yeah.
Can I be a neighbor?
I always like that front stoop very much.
What?
The front stoop on 227.
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah, you can just sit there and we can talk.
Can I have a dog?
Do whatever you want, white woman. Go ahead.
The 227 revival coming up on Hollywood Uncensored. The Crystal Ball. Our panelists will share their amazingly accurate visions about the future of Hollywood and what's ahead for one breakout star from Crazy Stupid Love. Stay tuned, back in a second. Guests of Hollywood Uncensored go gold class. It is the first-class way to see a movie and offers the ultimate escape for movie lovers, from the amazing lounge area to the plush micro suede recliners to the best food and beverages and service anywhere. Check it all out at goldclasscinemas.com. Hey, welcome back. You can follow me on Twitter at SamOnTV. Angelica Bridges is here, also on Twitter at Angelica Bridges. And her scrumptious website, I love this, 3Ws.treatmesweetbakery.com. Yum, 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 I can't wait.
I know.
I want to taste your muffins.
Okay.
Whoa, hey.
If you like strawberry, great.
It's time. Whoa. Whoa. The crystal ball. Our group of guests give us a look into the future of showbiz with a prediction they know 100% will come true. Here comes Lonnie Love.
I predict that George Clooney will have a Twitter account so I can profess my love to him. Do it, Clooney. Put that blue check there.
We want him verified, Pauly Shore.
I definitely predict that all of us right here, this is going to be like a new, I think this is going to be like a new, is it a Charlie's Angels thing or is it a mob squad thing?
Get up there.
Yeah.
Some type of, like, we can all kind of do some type of, no, that won't last. I don't know, I predict stuff. Next!
Here comes Carrie Keegan.
I predict that Obama is going to ask the very wealthy in Hollywood to pay the same amount that they paid in plastic surgery to try and give back the deficit. And if my calculations are correct, I think that we will have paid it up by the end of the summer. So.
It could, in fact, work.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Nobody's been able to do the math.
It's your turn. Speak up.
Angelica Bridges.
Speak up.
I predict that Pauly Shore and I will see each other again at the Playboy Mansion.
Party!
See that? She's the only one that said something that's true.
Says you, Pauly Shore.
All right,
No,
my
you never
prediction.
know.
I like that hookup prediction, and Angelica, that makes me like you even more. Model and actress Annalie Christian Tipton, who plays the babysitter in Crazy Stupid Love, is the next big thing. A couple of forgotten lines that got her booted off of America's Next Top Model, but her acting chops have very much improved, and now she's being called a face to watch by the New York Times. And you know what? They are right. You guys have been great to watch. Thanks so much for being here.
You've been amazing.
Oh, more about me.
Are you allowed to eat these?
You can have those. We'll see you next time on the next Hollywood Uncensored. See you next time.
Oh my God.